So this is back to November 2017. What sort of health were they in at the time?
They were you know, my dad's got dementia, but he was holding it reasonably well. My stepmother was a little bit confused, but yeah, they had a good life. They used to go walking in the lakes, they used to go out for meals, they could look after themselves, do their own cooking, their own cleaning. They were enjoying the retirement.
So they were first contacted by this man who they believed was working at their bank, and he said his name was Gerry.
Yeah.
And we now know that this is Syed, but he called himself Gerry. So what did he say to them?
Well, it's difficult to say because of their condition. They were unable to report back accurately, but I got a call off my sister just saying, around about mid-November, saying your dad's got in a bit of financial difficulty. So I went round and she was on the phone to him, so I picked it up. And apparently he'd been worming his way in and chatting away to them, befriending them. And he just took advantage of the trust. You
weren't aware of any of this going on?
Not at all, no. Not until I got the call and I went round to the house and actually spoke to him. And he convinced me he was from the bank.
Really?
You know, he was very, very convincing. Very professional.
It's a long, confusing story, so I'm trying to simplify it here. Their actual bank manager made contact with them because he was suspicious that £40,000 online loan application had been made in Donald's name, father. That was cancelled. And then he got a letter from the bank which stated that he was in the bank and appeared confused, then you should be contacted. So he provided a contact number but gave the bank Bukhari, so they were then contacting him. Which is visited by police community support officers. Your stepmom declined any police assistance, stating that no money was missing. And it goes on from there. 10 different bank accounts and credit cards in their names have been opened fraudulently. One of the accounts had almost £100,000 deposited in it. The bank froze it, and then he managed to convince them to unfreeze it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So, this is a very, very clever pattern of manipulation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's done a job on him. You know, he really has.
How did he get the house?
He, I think, well, while he was going into the property, I think we stole the deeds, and amongst other things. And he's then told me that my dad has took a loan out against the equity in his property. And there's county court judgments because he's not made any payments, he's not put any mechanism in place for paying it back. And then he's just gone on to one of these we buy any house type of companies and sold it for vastly reduced amount of what it was actually worth. And they specialise in a quick sale, no questions asked sort of thing. So, and it's gone through over Christmas of all times as well.
It redirected their mail. Redirected their phone calls. So now this was from top to bottom a very elaborate plan. And how? So when you listen to this, and you've seen this with other people. We all have now. It's so tragic. How on earth do you protect yourself? Because you have two elderly people there who believe that they're completely in control of their faculties and of their financial situation. So, therefore, they're not going to sign over a power of attorney because they'd probably say, I would imagine they would say, we're perfectly fine, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So how do you protect?
I think this is one of the reasons we're here, is that Lancashire Police were very keen to tell other people that there are other people committing frauds, not necessarily just this man, which was an incredibly elaborate process, but other people out there committing frauds. And what we're saying, it's that theory or that process in terms of as children we're looked after by our parents. As we grow up, we need to look after our parents. And what we need to be saying to them is being aware as they get older, who are they communicating with? What are they doing with their money? We've got generations which are very much against talking about their money and what they had. And certainly with your dad, he didn't want to talk about his finances, did he? You didn't know about his finances until this developed later. So it's about talk to your parents, say to them, what are you doing with your money? Where have you put it? Is anybody talking to you about these things? This guy was in daily contact with them over 4 months, over 1,000 phone calls. He made phone calls where he changed his voice through an app where he could pretend to become a woman. Incredibly elaborate. So what we're saying to people is, one, be aware. If you think you have concerns in any aspect about anyone contacting you, talk to the bank. Talk to the bank, talk to the police.
On the number that you know.
Absolutely. Don't give any details out. The problem is we're all incredibly busy and we've all received these phishing emails where people want some details from you. This man got into a position where he befriended an elderly couple. He then used that to be able to get their confidence, and by getting their confidence, to date, your mum still thinks that he is a friend, still thinks he's from the bank. She's seen a photograph of him.
Last week, he was jailed for 8 years.
Yeah, it was, yeah. She still thinks he works for the bank. Oh, and she's concerned that he's not going to be able to get a job in banking after he comes out of prison.
Oh, no. Is all of that money gone? Is the house gone? Is there any way of getting any of that back?
We're working on it. We're getting some of the savings back. We're not far off there. There's, I think, 2 or 3 accounts which have yet to be reinstated.
Right, OK.
The house we should get back. We've had to appoint a private solicitor to fight on our behalf. It's, as I understand, about a month ago, the land registry were prepared to transfer it back into my parents' name.
Oh,
so all being well, that should happen.
It must really gall you when you live carefully.
Yeah.
Your parents live carefully. Their
Absolutely,
life savings, they save up. They're quite frugal. That this guy made 6 trips to Dubai and Pakistan in 3 months, often travelling first and business class. Spent 11 grand on a hotel stay in Dubai. All your parents' money.
Yep.
Spent tens of thousands of pounds on Rolex watches, jewellery, designers, clothes bags, phones, had a hair transplant. So all of that, you look at that hard-earned cash and see how that was frittered away.
It's incredible. I mean, we're on daytime TV. I can't tell you what I really think of him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can imagine.
Yeah, it's not high on my Christmas list.
Will you send our love to your parents?
I will do, yeah.
Please, as well.
They're probably watching right now.
Well,
well, good. Well, hello, Donald and Margaret.
Yes, good morning to you.